Avoid the lottery of FIFA points, head over to U7Bikes. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another video. This is rather heavily requested by people. You know, what's your starter team going to be like? What players do you recommend for the start of FIFA 20? Now, I'm going to come right out and say, I'm not going to lie to you, I've not played the beta. I've only seen what everyone else has seen from the likes of Gamescom and things like that. So, I'm going off purely on what I can see through the gameplay, and obviously player rating predictions. So the first player up and the goalkeeper, ADRIAN, now of Liverpool. Now the reason I've chosen him is only because I know he's going to be cheap. He's obviously second choice for Liverpool. Yes, Alisson's injured right now, so technically speaking he's first choice, but I can't imagine he will get upgraded a lot, if at all, over his FIFA 19 card, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. 78 rated card is probably about right. Of course, as you can see in the bottom right hand corner, I've got a 4-3-3 formation on the go. I think in the early stages, I think a 4-3-3 is probably solid to go with. I'm going to go with me, I think Ben Mee for one of the centre backs. Don't be put off by the fact that A, he's 81 rated and you're thinking, oh, he might be a little bit too expensive at the start of FIFA. That 65 pace, or thereabouts, he might have slightly more, slightly less. I think he'll be fine. So long as you play, not drop back, but so long as you sort of drop the defence back a little bit, just to cover the fact that he doesn't have 75 plus pace or something. But a very solid defender. And next to him, we're going to have Joe Gomez. Bit of a contrast to me. He is a little bit quicker, in fact a lot quicker, up to 78 pace there. Maybe even a little bit quicker than that, to be honest. He showed a lot of pace in pre-season, so whether EA watched pre-season or not, I don't know. But with that in mind, the defensive stats not quite as good. I don't think that's too much of a problem, though, because in the early stages, you just want someone tall who can keep up with the play. Of course, Mee is the opposite of that. He's not going to keep up with the play, but he's a very, very good defender. On the left-hand side, new boy, Angelino of Man City. I don't imagine this guy, again, same really as ADRIAN. Just because he's had a transfer, I don't think it means, oh, you know, he's going to be an 83, 84 rated left-back. Left-backs, very early on in FIFA, in particular in the Premier League, or full-backs in general, are very expensive. So this would probably be one on the lower end of the spectrum, or rather on the mid sort of spectrum, because he's not like that high rated, but he's got a little bit of pace to him and a little bit of physicality. On the opposite side, we have Kyle Walker-Peters. This guy, in my opinion, is going to be a very, very good player in real life in the future. Obviously, this season he's got to sort of prove himself, really, now that Trippier's gone. But in terms of FIFA, he's not the fastest player in the world, but he's very well-rounded. He should be relatively low-rated. I think he's up from a silver card. So, theoretically, again, like Angelino, he should be pretty cheap. I wouldn't say super cheap, but cheap enough for a starter team for sure. Moving into the midfield, NDIDI. This is going to be where your big money goes, I think. NDIDI is likely to be nearly 10,000 coins. I mean, maybe a little bit cheaper, I don't know. But in the early stages, people always look for players like this. You know, you've got your sort of rigid, strong players who are very capable of breaking up the play in the midfield. CDMs in FIFA 19 are very important, so if that continues, then you never know. But, I mean, you could swap him out, and maybe I'll give you some suggestions in just a second. Douglas Luiz, probably one of the most well-rounded cards that I'm sort of predicting for FIFA 20. Obviously, we don't know yet. He might not even be a gold, but I would imagine he would be. 76 rated, we've got him down here. As you can see, every stat in the 70s, just about, with pace being 70 bang on. But I think he offers you a little bit of everything. You know, you've got the defensive ability within there. You've got the passing. You've got the dribbling. He can shoot from distance. I think that's high commodity. I'm moving into someone who I believe will get a slight downgrade, OXLADE-CHAMBERLA, down from an 80 to a 79, and the reason I believe that is because he just didn't play last season, and the reason he didn't play, of course, was injury. But EA don't look at things like that. They just go, oh, how many games did he play? Oh, 6? No, you're getting downgraded, you're out of favour. Honestly, they're that sort of stupid, I guess. But he'll still be a pretty damn good player in the midfield. More of a cam than a centre mid, I guess. But either way, I think he'll be a very, very nice player and very cheap as well. Moving on to the left wing position, I've gone with SESSEGNON, new Tottenham boy. If you're wondering why the badge is blue and the Kyle Walker-Peters badge is white, I don't know. Answers on a postcard. I have no idea why it did that. But either way, 77 rated, up from I believe, again, a silver. He may even been a left back, I'm not quite sure. But either way, I think with a bit of pace, 4-star skills, very early on in FIFA 20, this guy's going to be super, super cheap because no one's really going to be caring that much about this type of player. You know, anyone under 80 is going to be cheap enough for you to just pick up in a starter team. On the opposite side, we have SARR of Watford, formerly of Stade Rennais, or Stade Rennais, or Stade Rennes, or whatever Ashley Cole wants to call them. Stade Renoir. I think he was a left wing. I think he's going to be. He's downlisted as on the Watford team sheets as a right wing. He's on the transfer market website as a right wing, so I'm guessing EA are going to put him as a right wing. If so, then he would fit very nicely into this team. I believe he has 4-star skills as well. Very, very quick, and all playing toward the big man up front, MAUPAY, now of Brighton. I think formerly of Brentford. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm probably saying his name wrong as well. I do apologise. Ashley Cole taught me how to say things and wrote the script for this video. 78 pace, 80 shooting, and some decent physical stats in there as well. This type of player in FIFA 20 I think will probably be not the be-all and end-all. I think pace is going to be important, but from how slow the gameplay looks, I honestly think you'll be able to get away with using slightly slower players with good finishing and decent physical stats. And for very early on in the game, this guy could be that man. Now, I know what you're thinking. Damn, his Photoshop skills are absolutely insane. Where can I learn how to do that? I am going to be conducting evening classes if you're interested. Link isn't in the description. So, yeah, I don't know. I couldn't find a FIFA 20 squad builder. I saw a few other people who have got like the FIFA 20 screen. But I thought, you know what, let's just do this ghetto. So I literally made this myself. I don't know if you can tell. But either way, that's the team and how it would look in game. I am going to run you through a few super subs in just a second, and a few players maybe that I would have wanted to have put into the team, but I'm just a little bit unsure as to how expensive they're going to be. So you don't have to use this 4-3-3 variation, but I think it works quite well. Obviously, there probably will be a few random instructions thrown into FIFA 20 that we're going to have to test out, but based on what we know for FIFA 19 in terms of stats and things like custom tactics and things, it should be pretty decent. Joelinton was one of the players that I wanted to put in here, but I've got him down as a 78 rated card. Now, he could very well be 78, he could be 75, he could be 82. I just don't know. This guy, I think, is probably going to be better than MAUPAY. A little bit in game, because I think he's going to have a little bit more pace, he'll have a touch more physicality, and he should be, I don't know if he'll be as good in front of goal, but he'll definitely be good and definitely one to watch out for. Moving away from the Premier League as just the only player in this video that I'm going to talk about that isn't from the Premier League, this guy at the start of FIFA is going to be a gem. Had a very good season out on loan at Sampdoria last year, now back at Roma. Very good nation to link in with, of course, a great league as well. You've got some pace, you've got finishing ability and the dribbling. So that means he's got relatively high ball control, and the first touch look like it's going to be quite important in FIFA 20. So that could be a very good card to pick up, even if it is a super sub. TROSSARD, a player who I believe is going to get a very nice card in FIFA 20, to the point where I don't think this is going to be a starter card. I think this is going to be around 20 to 30,000 coins very early on, and you might think that I'm talking absolute nonsense, but it's what happens to very good sort of 81, 82 rated cards at the start of FIFA. They tend to sell for a lot. Gabriel Jesus a couple of seasons ago was still 60,000, despite the fact that he was under 83 rated. So don't dismiss it, but if this guy is cheap in FIFA 20, pick him up. Mason Mount is another one that, I wanted to put into the team, but I just don't know. Is he going to be 80 rated? Is he going to be 75 rated? Is he going to be an 83 rated card that goes for like 90,000 coins? I just don't know. Are those stats even remotely accurate? I don't know, because this guy, obviously last year, played in the Championship, he had a silver card, and he's come on leaps and bounds. He's actually one of Chelsea's starting, I mean, he's one of their star players right now. He's not even a starting player, he's a star player. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure what will happen with his rating and whether he'll be cheap enough to go into a starting 11. If he is, then I would probably replace either Douglas, maybe not. I would replace OXLADE-CHAMBERLA, I really would. But that's going to do it for today's FIFA 20 Premier League starter team number 1. If you want to see more of this type of thing, maybe with a different league, maybe a hybrid, maybe Not so much sort of a lower rated team like this, maybe with a, I don't know, 60, 70k in a budget in mind or something of that nature, because I think coins are going to be quite easy to come by at the start of FIFA 20. But if you want to see that, let me know in the comments and by hitting the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index, the game changed. Download the app now.